Salvete disque polylinguae latinae. Hello everybody, welcome. This is Latin with Stephen. Welcome to my channel. This is the first video of the new unit, Unit 3. So if you've been following thus far, thank you for doing so. If you've just arrived, you're very welcome. In this video we're going to start by learning the third conjugation of the Latin verb. So we already learned the first and second conjugations. You may remember first conjugation verbs in the infinitive form and in are, amare. And they go amo, amas, amat, amamos, amatis, amant, with the A's going all the way through, apart from with the I form. So we could take also perhaps ambulare, to walk, ambulo, ambulas, ambulat, ambulamos, ambulatis, ambulant. So it's o, as, at, amos, atis, and. Then we did second conjugation, which end in ere in the infinitive, such as tenere, to hold, teneo, tenes, tenet, tenemos, tenetis, tenent, eo, eis, et, amos, etis, ent. So we had for the are verbs o, as, at, which is I, you, he, she, amos, artis, ant, we, you, plural, they, o, as, at, amos, artis, ant. Second conjugation, tenere, habere, videre, eo, eis, et, amos, etis, ent. If that's not absolutely crystal clear in your minds, please do go back and have a look at the videos. Each video is labelled, and just go over those before moving on to this next bit. So third conjugation verbs. Our example is scribere, scribere, a bit like the scribe is to write. All right. Now you'll notice this infinitive also ends in ere, much like the second conjugation. However, the second conjugation is a long habere, tenere, videre, monere. This is just a short one. It's scribere, ere, not ere, scribere. Small difference, scribere. If you looked up in the dictionary, it should give you, next to the infinitive, a number 3, just to indicate its third conjugation. And once you know its third conjugation, and if you know the pattern, then you know how to form the endings. So let's look at what happens. As always, we take off the ere to give us a stem of the verb, in this case, scribe, and we get scribo, scribis, scribit. I write, scribo, you, one person, scribis, scribit, he, she, it. Plurals. Scribimus, we write, or we are writing right now. Scribetis, you, plural, however many, 200, are writing. They, scribunt. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribetis, scribunt. Again, scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribetis, scribunt. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribetis, scribunt. As always, we've still got ost, mustis, nt, the crucial endings that are always present, be it are, ere, or now third conjugation, ere verb. What's different is the vowel that comes before it. So in the first conjugation we had o, as, at. Second we've got eo, eis, et. Now we've got o, is, it. So the I is the I has come into play. Imus, itis, unt. So it was amamos, amatis, amant. Habemus, habetis, habent. Now scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. So it becomes crucial to make sure you know which conjugation, which track of verb you're following, so that you can put the right vowel in. So let's just do it a couple more times. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Say it with me. Scribo, scribis, scribit. And know what you're saying. I write. Scribo, scribis. You are writing. Scribit, he, she. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. Faster. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. Scribo, scribis, scribit. Scribimus, scribitis, scribunt. All right? So it can mean I write, I am writing, I do write. Let's look at a few other third conjugation verbs that are going to behave in exactly the same way. So if you saw one of these in the dictionary with a little number 3 next to it, straight away, if you know this pattern, then you know how to conjugate the third conjugation verbs, and there are a great many of them. So we've had scribere, to write, to be the scribe. Well, why not add leggere? Leggere. I've given you the English, spoilt it really, but it's to read. If you have handwriting that a person can read, it is said to be legible, right? Legible, leggere. So what do? Take off the ere, that's the infinitive, gives us a stem, leg. Lego, legis, legit. I read, you read, she reads, he reads. Legimus, legitis, legunt. Lego, legis, legit. Legimus, legitis, legunt. Ducere, to lead. The duke leads. Ducere. Take off the ere. Duco, I lead. Ducis, ducit. Ducimus, ducitis, ducunt. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducimus, ducitis, ducunt. So, scribere, to write. Leggere, to read, legible. Ducere, you're the duke, you're leading, to lead. To take somebody to a place. Ducere. 2 more. Bibere, I like this one. Bibere is to drink. Somebody who is fond of drink, as in alcohol, may be described as bibulous. If we drink something in, either literally or figuratively, we are said to imbibe, right? So, bibere, this is where it comes from. Take off the ere. Bibo, I drink. Bibis, bibit. Bibimus, bibitis, bibunt. Bibo, bibis, bibit. Bibimus, bibitis, bibunt. And the last one for today is emere, to buy. Emere. Take off the ere. The stem is a short one, it's em. Emo, I buy. Emis, emit, he, she buys. Emimus, emitis, emunt. Again, emo, emis, emit. Emimus, emitis, emunt. Emo, emis, emit. Emimus, emitis, emunt. Right, let's see how quickly you can do this. The test is if you can try and block out, disregard that screen. I'll keep it if you really need it, and focus on these and see if you can conjugate them in the form that I ask for, memorizing the endings. O is it, emus itis und. O is it, emus itis und. Right. The boy drinks. Puer bibit. Puer bibit. This is your verb. It for he or she. Right. I lead. Duco. The verb is ducere. First person. O. Duco. I lead. What about they are buying? They are buying. Emunt. Emere, they, und. Emunt. The girl is drinking. The girl is drinking. Puella bibit. Yeah. Bibere. Bibit. We are reading. Legimus. Verb is legere. We form. Imus. Legimus. I've put on here a few nouns that we can use just to make some sentences. Some of these we've met before, 1 or 2 perhaps new. So the word for, since we're reading and writing, I thought we should add the word for letter, or one of the words for letter, and that's epistola. We have an English word, epistle. So epistola, it's an a word, it's feminine first declension, so it's going to go epistola, epistolam, in the accusative, I, genitive, etc. Epistola. Toga, I think you know that one, famous Roman male garment, formal dress, the woolen toga, so toga. Aqua, I think you know that one. Water, so these are all feminine, first declension. If you don't want water, you might want wine. Vinum, that's a neuter, and you may remember that neuter words stay the same in the accusative. So whether it's the wine's on the table, the wine is new, or I drink the wine, I buy the wine, it's going to stay vinum. So that's handy. Liber, like library, is the word for book. We met that before. That's masculine. What's going to happen in the accusative if I read the book? Can't stay liber, becomes librum. Librum. If I read the books, libros. All right. So let's make a few sentences with these verbs just to practice. Okay, the master writes the letter. The master writes the letter. Dominus. Make it accusative because the letter is not doing the writing. That would be weird. Epistolam. He writes or is writing. Scribet. Dominus epistolam scribet. You could change the focus with more or less the same sentence and say something like, the master writes a letter every day. The master writes a letter every day. Dominus epistolam, accusative. Quotidie, do you remember that one? Every day. It's an adverb. Quotidie scribet. Dominus epistolam quotidie scribet. You could put the accusative first. Epistolam. Dominus quotidie scribet. Okay. The son reads the letter. The master writes it. Now the son reads it. Son is filius. Epistolam. Not scribet, but legit. Dominus scribit, filius legit. Filius epistolam legit. Let's throw a genitive in. Come on, I'm being a bit nasty today. The son reads the master's letter. There's one master, so it's the apostrophe before the S. One. The son reads the master's letter. So, filius epistolam legit, we know that much. Filius epistolam legit. What we're going to do with the dominus? Filius epistolam domini. It should have an I on the end, because that's of genitive singular, of the master. Domini epistolam. Epistolam domini. Filius epistolam domini legit. Very good. What about the master leads the slave? The master leads the slave. Dominus servum. It has to be because it's accusative and he's being led, not doing the action. Ducit. If we want to say to a place, it's a little word ad, ad, and it's followed by the accusative case, ad. So the master leads the slave to the forum would be Dominus servum ad forum ducit. Forum is a neuter, word. It doesn't change in the accusative, so that's helpful in this case. Dominus servum ad forum ducit. Let's do something similar. What about the master leads the friend, or his friend? We don't need the little his word. Friend, do you remember, is amicus? To the arena, and we can use ad again with accusative. The master leads his friend to the arena. Dominus amicum, accusative. Dominus amicum ad arenam, accusative after ad, meaning to a place. Ad arenam ducit. Dominus amicum ad arenam ducit. We lead, or we are leading, the friends, masculine, or our friends, to the tavern. Why not? We are leading our friends, or the friends, to the tavern. Ducimus. Don't really need the pronoun. The word for we would be nos, N-O-S. Nos ducimus, if you like, but it's clear from the verb. Ducimus amicos. Amicos ducimus ad tabernam, accusative after ad. Amicos ad tabernam ducimus. That feels the more natural way of expressing it. That's certainly my sense. Amicos ad Tabernam ducimus. We lead or we are leading. Ducimus. Right, let's do something a little bit different. The matron sits in the atrium and drinks water. The matron sits in the atrium. Matrona, in atrio, ablative case, sedet, et aquam bibit. Matrona in atrio sedet, et aquam bibit. The daughter also drinks the water. The daughter also drinks the water. Filia quoque. Remember that word also? Quoque. Filia quoque. Aquam bibit. Filia quoque aquam bibit. But she wants to drink wine. She wants to drink wine. Little rebel. So we did in my last video wanting. I wonder if you know that. If it's a singular third person, he or she, it's wollt followed by the infinitive. So wants to drink is going to be wollt bibere, because the second verb must be infinitive. Wollt bibere, wants to drink. The daughter wants to drink wine. So sed filia wollt vinum neuter bibere. So the daughter's also drinking the water. Filia quoque aquam bibit, sed vinum bibere wollt. Wollt vinum bibere, sed vinum bibere wollt. All right. So the slave buys the wine in the forum. The slave buys the wine in the forum. Servus vinum in foro, ablative in foro. Emere, he, she buys. Emit. Servus emit. Servus vinum in foro emit. If we're continuing the story, we might throw a little word like therefore. The slave therefore buys wine in the forum. And the word for therefore, one of them is igitur. Igitur. And it likes to come in second position. Servus igitur vinum in foro emit. So that then it's nice because it helps the sentence to flow. This is the kind of words you come across when you're reading Latin. Servus igitur vinum in foro emit. Filia vinum bibere wollt. She wants wollt bibere. Servus igitur vinum in foro emit. The slave carries, like the porter, do you remember that one? Portare carries the wine into the atrium. Servus vinum. It's going to be in, and when we're going into, not located in, sitting in, but moving into, we have accusatives. It's going to be in atrium. You're going, there's direction, you're going to a place. As distinguished, as opposed to just being statically. So in atrio, sedet, sitting in the atrium, but going into it's going to be in plus accusative. All right, so we've had add plus accusative, now in plus accusative. Going to a place, going into a place. Servus vinum in atrium, in villam, in collinam, portat. Now, the daughter is happy because she drinks the wine. Now the daughter is happy. Nunc filia est, full of light and goodness. Remember that one? Laita for feminine, lightus for a man. Nunc filia est laita. Nunc filia laita est. Quod, because vinum bibit. It, she drinks. Vinum bibit. Nunc filia laita est. Quod vinum bibit. The matron is also happy because she drinks the wine. Matrona quoque laita est. Matrona quoque est laita. Quod, because vinum bibit. She loves the wine. Winum amat. Very much. Walde. Winum bibit. Winum walde amat. Right. What else? Let's do one or two more. What about the boy reads the book or a book in the garden? In the garden. Now this time when he's reading in the garden, he's located there already. It's not into, so it's going to be back to the ablative. It's going to be in horto. All right. So we distinguish between going to somewhere, direction, accusative, or being already located, in which case it's ablative, what we call place where. The boy reads the book in the garden. Puer. Got to change it to accusative. Librum. In horto. Legit. Legere. Legit. Puer. Librum in horto legit. Librum. Puer in horto legit. Remember that the accusative very often comes at the beginning in the Latin sentence, unlike in the English. So you have to keep reading to discover which is your nominative, which is your subject, who is in charge of the verb. In this case, puer legit. The girl also reads a book in the garden. Puella. So we've had puer, the boy. Puella, quoque. Librum. In horto legit. Puella quoque librum in horto legit. But the matron is writing a book in the house. But the matron is writing a book in the house. So not legit, but scribet, scribere. Sed matrona librum in villa, located there, therefore ablative case, long A, in villa, scribet. Puella quoque librum in horto legit, sed matrona librum in villa scribet. Librum legit, librum scribet. Epistulam legit, epistulam scribet. I'm writing a letter, epistulam scribo. Epistulam scribo. I'm reading a letter, epistulam lego. Scribo et lego. What haven't we used? Oh, we need to bring the toga into this. Right. The master buys a toga in the forum. The master buys a toga in the forum. Dominus togam, accusative, because he's buying it. It's his direct object. The toga's not buying him. Not in this story anyway. So Dominus togam in foro, place where, ablative, emit. Emere. Amo, emis, emit, he, she buys. Dominus togam in foro, emit. He often buys a toga in the forum. Must be quite rich. Saipi. Remember that word from the first unit. Saipi means often. Dominus saipi. Togam in foro, emit. Togam. Dominus saipi in foro, emit. Let's try using the verb to want again. The master wants to buy a toga today. The master wants to buy a toga today. Dominus vult, V-U-L-T, vult, to buy. Emere, infinitive, comes next. Togam hodie, all rearranged. Dominus hodie, togam, emere vult. Dominus hodie, togam, in foro, in the forum, emere vult. Very good. So let's just hope that makes sense to you guys. Let's just one more time repeat the conjugation with a couple of the verbs, and then we'll leave it there. So third conjugation, again, it will be, when you look into a dictionary, it will probably give you scribo and then 3 in brackets or something like that, at which point you know, okay, it's third conjugation, this is how it behaves. And likewise, if you're reading a text in Latin and you see, let me come up with another verb, you see something, for instance, like intellegit, and you go to a dictionary and you'll find intelligo, and it will give you the English, which means to understand. Use the intellect, right? Intelligo, and it will say a 3, intellegere. But actually, when you read intelligit and you see the it, you would have known straight away, even if you didn't know the meaning of the verb at that moment before you checked it in the dictionary, you would have known that its form means the he, she, and it's therefore third conjugation. All right? Intelligit. So we become familiar with these endings. So, scribere. Scribo, scribes, scribet. Scribemos, scribetis, scribunt. Do it with me, guys. Scribo, scribes, scribet. I write, you write, he, she writes. Scribemos, we, scribetis, scribunt, they. Scribo, scribes, scribet. Scribemos, scribetis, scribunt. Let's just do 2 more. Let's do drinking, all right? Bibo, bibes, bibet. Bibemos, bibetis, bibunt. Bibo, bibes, bibet. Bibemos, bibetis, bibunt. Bibo, bibes, bibet. Bebemos, we, bebetis, you guys, bebunt, they. Let's do ducere, to lead, like the duke. Ducere, leading the people. Duco, ducis, ducit. I lead, you lead, he, she leads. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducemos, ducitis, ducunt. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducemos, ducitis, ducunt. Duco, ducis, ducit. Ducemos, ducitis, ducunt. So, o es et, emos etis ont. O es et, emos etis ont. It may be useful for you to actually just write out the conjugations for the are with something like amare, then the ere with something like habere, and then the scribere, and just to look at the patterns and just to compare them and maybe do it in different colours, and you'll soon then distinguish in your mind, and it should help you to learn them. So I'm going to finish there because that's almost 30 minutes, quite a long video. I hope this has been useful. So this is the first of Unit 3. We're going to practice these verbs, maybe with a few new verbs of third conjugation in the next video, and then coming soon I'm going to introduce the third declension nouns as well. Alright, so that's all good stuff coming up. I hope this has been useful. Please give me a like if it has been. I'd love to read your comments to see where you're watching this from. Maybe why you're learning Latin. Be very interested to know. And please subscribe if you haven't already. That would really help me. And feel free to share with anybody who you think may benefit from these videos. Alright guys, so gratias, aga vobis, I thank you, and valete. Take care, see you soon.